Shouldn't she be arrested? Susan Rice should be arrested, not trashing Trump over North Korea meeting by Amy Moreno for Truth Feed News. Liberals are so desperate to spin anything and everything President Trump accomplishes as bad or negative. They're not only grasping at straws, they're outright lying. I think it's very risky, Rice said. It risks the president's credibility, the credibility of the United States, and worse still, I think it increases the risk of conflict if they go into something with very high expectations, poor preparation, and the president's acting in his typical mercurial way. We could end up in a much worse place than we are today, Rice warned. This is the woman who worked for Obama during the disastrous Iran deal, and who we just learned gave a stand-down order in regards to Russian meddling. This woman should be arrested, not trashing our strong America First president. Let's take a listen.
But what you've described is a traditional, appropriate diplomatic process. You're dealing with someone who's an outsized personality, who likes to call audibles, who thinks he's a better deal maker than any of the pros, who...
You know, and if you notice, look at ABC News. Like, did they ever speak like that about Obama? Whenever they spoke about Obama, like they're trashing Trump from the get-go. Like once she started the opening statement here, look how she's talking about Trump. Like this is the same coverage that Obama got?
But what you've described is a traditional, appropriate diplomatic process. You're dealing with someone who's an outsized personality, who likes to call audibles,
and
who thinks he's a better deal maker than any of the pros, who has blindsided the Secretary of State, who's lost face over all of this. So what is the likelihood that they will go into it in this low-key way?
You asked me what I think should happen. You didn't ask me what I thought would happen.
Okay.
So I'm making a distinction between the two.
So what is the risk
I do think we should approach it the way I described it. It would...
I'm sorry, we have a little bit of a delay there, but if he does approach it as a big personality summit, you've got these two leaders facing off with each other, untested, one though clearly the North Korean has a strategy. It's not clear that the U.S. has a strategy. What is the downside if there is this big flags waving red carpet summit and then no results?
I think it's very risky. It risks the president's credibility, the credibility of the United States, and worse still, I think it increases the risk of conflict. If they go into something with very high expectations, poor preparation, and acting in his typically mercurial way, we could end up in a much worse place than we are today. So I do think it's high risk, but I think there are steps we could take if the president were serious and we're willing to recognize that this is not a one-man enterprise in any circumstance, that a negotiation of this significance and complexity requires a team and a well-oiled team. Now, he may not have the temperament to do that, and you know, we've seen him on issues ranging from DACA to guns to trade say one thing on a Tuesday and a very different thing on a Thursday, and that's quite worrisome and dangerous when you're dealing with a core issue of our national security with a very unpredictable and unknown leader as an interlocutor. So I do think this is high risk if it's executed in a typical Trumpian fashion. If, however, the president has the presence of mind and the confidence in his team to allow this to be done responsibly and effectively, then I think it's worth attempting, and the downsides can be potentially mitigated.
First of all, don't you see what it says here? Kim Jong-un says he's committed to denuclearization, you see?
Susan Rice, former UN ambassador.
Yeah, Susan Rice, yeah, the Iran deal, they're talking about guns? How about Fast and Furious? What about those kind of guns? Oh, but let's just not mention those things, right? You know, what a crock. She should be arrested she lied to everybody that they weren't spying on Trump, and we're going to take this woman's word for it, right, on anything that she has to say. You know what they're just pissed at? That Trump is going to actually do something about something in this country by making Kim Jong-un come to his senses, so to speak, and denuclearize without giving him any money like they used to do and pacify him, and he was still continuing his project, so to speak. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and again, thank you so much for watching.